What's poppin', y'all? Adam 22's most recent star that hasn't gotten fired yet, 4 Extra, is back after detonating his hand. I'm gonna play you guys this clip.
Off the back, dead homie. Vernon Avenue, nigga, I'm back. West Side 40s, and I come to Blue Strip, cause that's what I'ma get. Blue Strip, that's all I get on Vernon Avenue, nigga. Off the back, that's all I get is Blue Strip. Dead homies, I don't know what a nigga thought. Dead homies when I'm back on 40s in the hood, you know I 4-0, I'm back, bitch. Dead homies, I'm back, bitch. Getting blues. I came right down here and picked this one for a reason. Cause I get blue strips. That's all my pockets is filled with. Blue strips on West Side 40s. I'm back, bitch. Stay tuned to the interview too.
So you're probably thinking, wait, hold on. This guy's out of the hospital already. He was just blind. He was blind for like a couple of days or a day and a half. And this doesn't look like the no jumper set to me. Yeah, I was as confused as you guys, but we're gonna get to the answers here. Number one, in the last video I did on this guy, I did an entire segment dedicated to comparing him to character development on a separate TV series, which I'll link that in the description. I don't want to play that whole clip, but I don't know if we're going to have any of that character development judging by this clip right here, because while he was not locked up, that's how often this guy gets locked up. I just associate him being gone with locked up. But while he was in the hospital, they were asking for $30,000, and some people were making some donations. Adam 22 making a $1,000 donation, and a bunch of other people. But now he's in this video talking about all he gets is blue strips. Like, what? This is terrible. If you're going to ask for money, you need to act down bad. If you're going to act like you're up, you need to not ask for money. To act like you're up and to be asking for money and acting like you're up after you ask for money, the only thing that people are going to think is, give me my damn money back, or is this what you doing with my money? You buying these chains? And I thought this was for some medical bill or whatever the case may be. So this is a bad look overall. However, the reason why he's with these guys and did this announcement is most likely because he got a big check, because 4 Extra was asking for $50,000 for his first interview back. And I gotta respect it, but I know this definitely rubbed Adam 22 the wrong way, because this all started with the hospital. So while he was at the hospital, Kevin Gates was shown as visiting, which is really bizarre. Kevin Gates is, I'll give you the vibe that Kevin Gates visiting 4 Extra gave me is the same vibe when we would randomly see Andre 3000 at these events. And you're like, yo, but what is bro doing here? Like, for example, Rory, the Stone Mountain Atlanta rapper / folk artist, that he was really like the industry plant wave. Like, he wore that on his jacket. And I think that's what popularized, I would say that's what really popularized the term to the mainstream. But he was this artist coming out of Atlanta, and he had this like Roar Fest thing, and he wasn't the biggest guy, and Andre 3000 just happened to be there, as Andre 3000 showed up to a bunch of other places. So that's what it felt like when Kevin Gates showed up here. But Adam 22, not only was he not invited, he was pretty much barred from showing up. And in this clip where Adam 22 is like reviewing the recent happenings of 4 Extra, he explains that he couldn't visit. And I'm gonna play you guys this clip right now.
Kevin Gates went to visit him, but then they said, yo, you couldn't go visit him. So is there some type of friction there?
Is restraining from like dealing with no jumper right now?
We don't know.
Are you serious?
I don't think he's not restrained. I think he probably felt like Adam was going to come up there and get content.
But
no, and Adam did think that, blog? Which I never said. Like, the only person I was talking to was Lupe. I said, yo, would it be cool if I pulled up Monday afternoon before I go do interviews or whatever? And she said, they're not really trying to have anybody come through. And then instantly we see the picture of Kevin Gates, and we're kind of like, oh, okay. I'm not going to like push the issue though, but I never said one word about like, can I pull up and do content? Can I pull up and do a vlog or whatever? Like, I didn't say anything like that.
I mean, because if we're being honest, you always showed moral support in regards to every time he was incarcerated. Like, and I don't think you ever like publicized that, did you? No, like when you would go support him at his court dates.
We made a vlog about going to his court date one time, but
okay. But that's irrelevant. You gave him his platform, though.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's whatever he wants to do. Like, I look forward to having a conversation with him and talking about whatever he's been through over the past week and everything like that. But I also don't want to be the one who's like hitting him up,
pestering
bro.
Him.
We got to get this content. We got, I feel like that would be pretty
not even just like
so.
We got to get this content, but hey, I see you back on the block. Like, what's up? Are you coming back to the building? Because he was on payroll. So from the outside looking in, it looked like it may be something there.
Some type of static.
You got denied the hospital visit. Your text turned green, and there's no talks of coming back to the building thus far. I'm keeping it a buck.
Listen, I'm in the.
So this, I think Adam 22 is trying to convince himself that, you know, like things should have been cool. But what I will say about this is that they are going to assume that you're going to make some content, whether it's filming there or maybe filming on your phone or maybe going on your phone and giving updates on like a YouTube short or an IG reel or something like that after. So they're going to assume off rip that you're going to make content. So if you're a content creator, I think you have to put it forward ahead of time where it's like, hey, this is not on any content stuff. I'm just visiting as a friend or, you know, as somebody that cares about this guy. No cameras involved, and I won't say anything anything that happens at the hospital. Like, that's how you kind of got to gauge this situation. Because, like, for example, whenever a streamer or a YouTuber or something is involved in something, everyone that's normal, like outside of that world, thinks, oh, this person's going to record or they're going to leak this or whatever the case may be. It's like talking to a journalist, right? The journalist has to say, hey, this is off the record, by the way. Otherwise, you assume that it's going to be printed. And then he breaks down, Adam 22 continues, and he breaks down his stint at the hospital and that he's back now. And this is right before the initial video came out where he's doing this paid promo is what it looks like. So I'm going to play you guys that clip.
Okay, yesterday, our boy 4Extra actually posted his return to the gram after the Grizzly hand incident that happened almost exactly a week ago. He posted a bunch of photos with him and his whole squad, his crew in the hospital. And that was kind of interesting because you get a little bit of a look at what his injuries were. But then after that, he posted another picture of him actually on the block outside. So it would appear that 4Extra is returning to prime form. He's posted up here with is
that Rock?
T-Rock, yeah. And then I guess this is the doctor. The way he's pointing at him, I guess maybe this is the doctor who he credits with, keeping him alive and everything. And then, yeah, we got 15 of his friends right here and everything. So
awesome. Let's go 4Extra.
134,000 likes. Holy shit. The people are happy to see him back to earth. I mean, the things that stood out to me about this is that, number one, go back to the other one. His left hand is bandaged up as well, so it might just be like a burn. We don't really know what kind of damage might have been done. It looks like all his fingers are fine. And then when I was zooming in on it yesterday, he does have some kind of burning on his face from the firework.
So wait, both his hands is f***ed up?
The left one is bandaged up, but his fingers seem fine. So I'm assuming it's just a burn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. So, do we have verification as far as is it true that he was in the passenger side of a car and tried to throw it out the driver's side window? And
that's what everybody's saying. I still feel like maybe that could not be the situation, but that definitely explains why there isn't any video footage and everything like that. Either way, Wack told me yesterday that he had a conversation with some of 4Extra's friends, and word on the streets is that he is shopping his return interview and that the asking price starts at $50,000. So I'm just going to off rip take a step back and say the economics of No Jumper do not allow for us to pay $50,000 for an interview, especially when the food communities and you ain't hard foos of the world are just going to clip that shit and put it on the gram for everybody 5 seconds after it comes out. So I hope somebody pays him $50,000 for an interview.
CNN was cracking.
I would love to link up after the $50,000 interview happens and do a more reasonably priced piece of content if he is still interested in rejoining the team and being part of the team and everything like that.
Yeah, $50,000 is a hefty price. Adam 22 is definitely not paying $50,000 to that guy. I don't know who Adam would pay $50,000 to interview. I don't think there's anybody really. Now, Vlad, I think he would pay $50,000 for some interviews. I don't know if he has paid $50,000, but $50,000 is a steep price. And I will say that I don't think it's going to make its ROI on their channel for sure. So, but I think Adam 22 for sure feels away because hey, I thought we were locked in and now you're getting $50K. And this is what a co-host on that show asked Adam. They're like, yo, don't you feel a type of way about this? Because this is how we're looking at the situation. So I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Some type of way? Because he's not coming to you for the first interview and your platform literally made him who he is to even be able to be asking for $50,000. So are you hold on, cuz we can't get the first interview? Like, I thought we was ganging them.
I mean, I think that the thing about For Extra is that he doesn't necessarily know this internet game as well as some of us. So I guarantee, like, when you see a picture of him with 20 dudes in the hospital room, he's probably got 20 dudes who realistically are fresh up off the block telling him what they think business-wise makes sense. And by all means, honestly, like, if he could get some very large amount of money from somebody else to do an interview, knowing that his return interview is going to be super viral,
do that shit.
I would not stop him from doing that. You know, our situation is a little bit more modest, a little bit more reasonable. So
I'm not saying block him. I'm saying you don't feel no type of way by him not even offering it to you. Like, hey, Adams, I'm back out.
Yeah,
I got you. Don't put it out, Adams, until I go get this bread.
Adams.
You feel me? Then you can put your shit out. But I'm going to give you the first inside scoop, and I'm going to give you some extra that I'm not going to give them.
It would be nice to be reached out to, just because, you know, I did reach out to him. Haven't heard anything back. I went to go send him a voice note yesterday, and his text messages came up green.
I will say Adam is being very fair and generous here. But, dog, there's no way that they're messing with him anymore, because for this guy, For Extra, right? Like, you see the loyalty and this is like, you could say loyal to a fault. Like, for instance, AD, who was previously on No Jumper, he's a Crip, and he was like down to damn near die and defend No Jumper from a violent attack that was going to happen. And it's that type of loyalty. Like, for example, this guy's clearly loyal to his gang, or whatever Vernon Avenue is, that the first clip that he comes out where he's doing a promo, he's yelling out the block and the set. So that loyalty's still there. So if he's not loyal to you, that might mean he just don't mess with you anymore. And the whole, like, oh yeah, I don't know about, like, the text went to green, I reached out to him. Yeah, he don't mess with you. It's like when your homie says, like, yo, I think this chick is busy, man. You know, she hasn't replied to me all day. You know, what is her phone usage like when you're with her? He's like, yeah, her phone's always in her hand. She's replying to everybody. Do we got to point it out anymore? Like, if the texts are going green, there's no way this guy just changed up his. He could have changed up his number, but if Adam 22 was one of the priority contacts, he would have gotten hit up as one of the earliest. And I think he had this guy on a contract, a work contract. So how does that look? Like, is Adam 22 able to, like, block him from doing other interviews? I'm pretty sure that, like, Adam 22's new contracts, you're not allowed to do your own content anymore, because that's a lot of money lost from No Jumper, and he learned his lesson from, like, previous employees. But some people were alleging to the possibility that For Extra doesn't mess with Adam because of him bringing that King Pill guy on. Now, this King Pill guy, he's like a Pomona blood who we talked about him the other day. Adam was about to lay him down and send him upstairs. And I'm not talking about upstairs of The Office. We're talking about upstairs Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin type stuff. But he had this guy on who had been doing clout chasing off of For Extra. And his entire blow up has been attempting to be like For Extra, just a little bit crazier. And he had even pulled up to his hood, recorded a little video like he was there. And then he was brought on No Jumper, and that's where the incident happened, where Adam 22 pretty much said, I'm never dealing with this guy again. But during that, he takes aim at For Extra. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. I got it back.
Okay.
So I'm like, I think the fade God did that. You know, everybody pray to a God that they pray to. And when you one of these fighters, unknowingly, you might be praying to these fight gods. And when you turn the fade down, you gotta suffer a consequence.
Man, there's gotta
That's
be.
what I thought about at the crib when I was faded.
You thought that it was? You think it's karma from the fade god?
There has to be
From
a
the
rapper
fade
going.
god.
Fade
I'm so
god.
glad I asked you.
From the fade god. Nigga.
Insane.
Oh my god! I mean, listen, I actually gave Munchie B credit on the news yesterday. There's a clip of me talking about this when I first came in Monday, and I said how Munchie B didn't disrespect For Extra, and then a lot of people were pointing out, no, Adam, you got that wrong. Munchie absolutely was making jokes as soon as this happened.
I don't think genuinely that Munchie went as hard as he could have.
Now, to be very clear here, this is like a terrifying situation that happened to this guy. His hand exploded. Now, was it a moronic move for his hand exploding? Yes, absolutely. Especially if he was in a car lighting fuses and holding them and tossing them, even handling that kind of explosive. This is dynamite. This is no damn firework. That's bad. But you can see Adam 22 give a chuckle to him talking about like, yeah, Fade God had to take something. I'm feeling, dog, if I'm sitting at the hospital and I see a clip like that, I'm like, yo, I thought that was my man's. And some people in the No Jumper chat felt the same way. And I'm going to play you guys that clip.
BMX1803 said, oh my God, Adam, you had the guy who came to 4Extra's neighborhood with you on the podcast after one of the worst things that ever happened to 4Extra. I mean, we do a weekly podcast with Munchie B, who very much is a 4Extra detractor. King Pill, honestly, besides that one incident, that hasn't been like the primary narrative with him. And if anything, he kind of, let's be real, he kind of tucked his tail because everybody got on his case. Like, he saw that things were not going to work out well after he went to 4Extra's neighborhood, because somebody like me, I was supposed to go to his neighborhood with Lush to do that vlog. I was like, nah, I ain't going. I think he saw doors closing in front of him in that moment.
You said the B-lister.
Yeah, but by him pulling up, acting like he was in his neighborhood looking for him, and then like he said, this happened, and then he see him back over here. You think that got something to do with him? Like, nah, he can't come up here because I'm in here.
It could have something
you
to do
platforming
with
this weird ass nigga acting like he looking for.
So they're saying like, hey, how did you expect the guy to still mess with you when you had his op on that show making fun of him days later? And to Adam's credit, you could say like, hey, look, he's got opposing gang members all the time. He had people that don't mess with Whack 100. He has a show with Whack 100 when there are a ton of other people that don't mess with him, etc., etc. And Adam 22 gave the pushback of like, hey, we've got this guy Munchie B, who I don't know if he's blind or not, but he's always wearing sunglasses, who is ops with this guy 4Extra and made fun of him, I think outside of the platform, not entirely sure which. And he knew that back when he still had his hand and before he went to the hospital. And I think that doesn't really hold up, because whatever this Munchie B guy is doing, number one, he was already a host, and you're not laughing at what that guy said, even if it's a chuckle. Like, yeah, it was a fake laugh, but I think 4Extra maybe expected the situation to be handled in a way where it's like, yo, come on, like that's tripping, that's too far, like I can't laugh at that, like some sort of defense or standing up for him, which did not happen. And while reviewing all of this, Adam 22 talked about how he doesn't mind doing content with 4Extra after he gets this big bag, and he probably has a bunch of people in his ear telling him you should get this big interview, try to get a bag off of it. And I'm in line with that. I will say, like, there is not going to be another opportunity for 4Extra like this. What is he going to do? Start boxing? Like, dog, box with what hands? Now, the problem is he's got a superpower with that cast now, because he can just club people upside the head. That's stronger than any knockout power he may have had before. He could run a lot more fades with that thing, but I don't know how much shoulder strength he got, because that's probably weighing a lot on his shoulders. But what better can he do? If he shows up to No Jumper, he's getting paid the same rate that he's been getting paid. No Jumper is going to be willing to give him that same rate anyway. And these guys, it seemed like it was the best collaboration, because a clothing brand, they're probably thinking that they can sell clothing off the back of this, no pun intended whatsoever. So it's not just an interview that's going to be clipped up a bunch of places anyway, and most people just watch clips now, so they're not going to get the full like revenue off of it, you could say. And I don't know how popular this clothing brand is. Let me know, LA people, is this clothing brand popular? Because if it's not popular, that just makes me think like these are people running either scamming or selling, pushing weight, or they've got a big bag that they're just trying to make something legal shake, which I can respect as well. And this would be a good opportunity for that. This looks like the perfect brand deal, to be honest, other than the fact that he's trying to flex on it when he was just asking for donations, which is not the greatest look. I think Adam 22 is hopeful for this guy, because the other people that he had in line to potentially replace him, he just got rid of. Like that 607 guy, he got rid of him. That guy's like, or that guy kind of quit, whatever situation there. He basically got rid of him. He got rid of that King Pill guy, because that guy was damn near about to attack him, physically assault him. So a lot of his stars have just, been falling off. Not falling off popularity wise, but he's had to get rid of them. He even got rid of the other guy, what's his name? I just know the nickname that people, the guy that used to roll with Blueface, Almighty Suspect, although he was never a star or as viral or as crazy as any of these guys. So it's going to be tough to get another star, but listen, it doesn't sound like there's any shortage of them in LA, and I still think that this 4 Extra guy, there's a lot of mystique now, because this is the thing, like, people haven't seen him get into it in real life, which is a good thing for him because it keeps his quote-unquote aura up there, and as long as that's there, people will convince themselves of anything. Like, people convince themselves that, yo, Logan Paul just needs one punch to knock out Floyd. Conor McGregor just needs one punch to knock out this guy. And we clearly saw 2 embarrassments there, especially with Floyd, who weighed significantly less than Logan Paul. And he damn near knocked that guy out and was holding him up on his shoulders so he didn't hit the pavement. Not the pavement. So he didn't hit the canvas. So I think people will convince themselves like, nah, like, yo, this guy, he still got an arm. He's got a left arm, whatever the case may be. And that's got to stay that way. I really don't think they put him in any fights whatsoever, which, are you even eligible to fight legally if you're like missing limbs or fingers? That's a question for the Boxing Commission, which now sanctions Aiden Ross's events. And that would be where I thought was the best potential for Adam 22 to move this guy to, because giving takes, opinions, thoughts, that's not this guy's shtick. It's really not, and I don't think people are there for that either. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.